Okay, there we go. All right, so this is Sunday's team call, and I wanted to talk on how to just be your most confident self on social media, because I would say most often we sign up as coaches and we're like, okay, so like, how do I post on social media? How do I present myself on social media as this confident person when I'm not maybe feeling the most confident about myself? And that's a very common thing. And the biggest thing is I want you guys to stop apologizing about being yourself. How many times do you maybe think about a post, or maybe you don't even think about a post, or you have a picture about yourself and you almost kind of backtrack yourself, or you make yourself feel smaller, or you make yourself minimize your wins or anything like that, just because you feel like maybe people don't really care. I want you to stop apologizing about yourself, because I'm sorry, but when did we start apologizing about everything? And like, there's a pun in that. Like, why do we apologize about every single win that we have? One of the habits that I see that a lot of women have is that we apologize about anything. We feel like maybe something we did maybe wasn't the most convenient for someone else, or maybe it makes us look bigger than someone else. And we are like, like, that I make myself look bigger than someone else. I'm just going to make myself feel smaller so that way I don't look, better than someone else. You lost 10 pounds because you committed to something, or you feel really confident because you committed to yourself for 6 to however many weeks. Celebrate that. Be okay with that. And do not minimize yourself because of that. I cannot stress that enough. We live in a world where we put ourselves in this tiny little box just so someone else maybe doesn't feel intimidated by us, or maybe someone doesn't feel X, Y, and Z about us. Like, how many times have you yourself made yourself feel smaller or put yourself in a small little box simply because you didn't want someone else to feel X, Y, and Z? And I don't even care if it's posting on social media or just in life in general. I don't care if you were a coach or if you were in our boot camp or what it may be. But there are so many times that I myself have experienced just making myself feel small because I don't know what like so-and-so will also feel by seeing this post or whatever it may be. And so I want you guys to stop apologizing for those small little wins, because you are so much stronger than you think. You are capable of so many things, and your wins and your small little things may mean the world to someone else. You have no idea who is watching your story and your journey, or even just like family and friends that may be inspired by what you have to say, or your so say you just did Shift Shop. It's 3 weeks long. You committed to yourself for 3 weeks. And whether you have like minimal or crazy results, share them. Because you have something that helped you stay committed for 3 weeks. That's a hell of a lot longer than some people who have something that they have no ability to stay committed to. So sharing that, it's very powerful. You have no idea what your story or your message has to do to inspire someone else. Even beyond this business, just something for someone to know, like, hey, there's something out there that's greater than what I'm capable of. I want you to be yourself unapologetically. I can't tell you how many times I've drafted up a post and maybe not posted it because I was like, someone might think that's kind of icky, or someone might not agree with me, so on and so forth. When you post on social media, I want you to share like you're just talking with a friend. Like you're sharing literally unapologetically. Here's what I have to say. Agree with me or not. This is me and my story. It is what it is. And that's it. There are so many women on this team that have done such an excellent example of sharing their story in their own kind of perspective and that kind of stuff that have inspired so many people. There's people who have been in very lonely places. There are people that have battled eating disorders, whether it's just the community aspect of, I kind of pride myself on being like a lone wolf. I don't have a lot of friends. There's so many aspects of this team and this business and this journey and this boot camp and everything that you can associate with, and you can share confidently and just kind of be like, hey, I've never really fit in. I'm kind of an oddball, but these women, like, what do we connect on? Our health, our fitness, a drive to just want to be a better person, just lead a healthier lifestyle. Like, I could think of some worse friend groups to be a part of. I think at the end of the day, I'm pretty damn thankful to be a part of a community, whether it's just like our team page or our boot camp. I'm pretty damn thankful to be a part of that. I don't know about you, but honestly, I myself am going through a very crazy transition in my life, including someone else and all this kind of stuff, trying to find a balance. And at the end of the day, like, I was just journaling this afternoon and it hit me. I was journaling and it was asking me about community and friendships. And I wrote, I am so thankful for a community of women that support me to lead my healthiest life and to be my best self. And they're the women that have been there through like the whole shit show. And I get tearful because I've been through like the lowest of lows, not the highest of highs, but kind of working towards some of the happiest moments. And these ladies, like, you guys have been the people that I go to when I'm not in my greatest mood, or I'm checking into my virtual boot camp when I need a rest day because my mental health has been in the absolute shithole. You guys are the ladies that I go to, and I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for this opportunity. Honestly, I have like 1 or 2 friends that live in this area. So I want you to know how important this community is and the role that it has on everyone's life. You don't know the impact that it has on someone. So I know this is kind of off topic, the whole like confidence thing, but just know the power that it has for someone and use that as a breed of confidence, knowing that what you have is so much more powerful than you probably think. The impact, you have no idea who needs it the most. So when you're posting on social media, I want you to kind of take this into consideration as well, is oftentimes we want to solve things for other people. So we feel driven to maybe post about problems. We don't have time. We don't have the money, X, Y, and Z. But are we sharing about a solution? It is so important to not only just share about, are you guys seeing my notifications? To not only share about maybe the problems that we're having, the time, the money, the common objections that we're getting, but to share about the solutions, because no one wants a negative Nelly on their social media. No one wants that. So I get it. A lot of us have maybe mental health or the common objections that we hear or listen to. So how are we combating that? Are we talking about, yeah, I am struggling trying to find time to fit a workout in due to X, Y, and Z, but this is how I'm fitting it in. I have a program that's only 4 days a week. I have 3 days of active rest days and I can flex them around whenever. Or I've been there. I've struggled with nutrition and I've felt super restrictive, but for the first time in my life, like, I can go out and have a beer and be okay with it. Or, X, Y, and Z. Taking what we have to offer and providing it to people in a way of not just talking about our problems, but providing them solutions. there's a powerful way to provide confidence in that, of like, yeah, I have a solution for you. And not just speaking on the negatives. It's there. I feel like oftentimes when there's a problem or there's an objection, we speak on the negatives. But when you confront with a story that speaks about there was a problem and here's I solved it, you can really reach a lot of people when you speak to that. And Brooke had a really good example the other night about that. Sammy, even, like, hell, with her shoulder surgery, like, talk about rehabbing something that was surgically worked on. There's a lot of power in that, to be able to do what she's capable of doing. Or even something as far as, you know, like I talked about with the whole community aspect. That's just really powerful. So when you are posting on social media, I want you to feel confident and powerful about what you have to provide, because you have a story to tell. I don't care if this is your day 1, your day 75, your day 365, so on and so forth. If you are a brand new spanking coach, you have a story to tell. You have a brand new opportunity to say, I'm new on this journey, come follow along with me, or watch me, whatever you want to do, follow me or not, that's on you. But here's the thing, I'm putting myself first for the first time in a long freaking time. Watch me or not, that's up to you. But it's happening regardless. And there's something powerful in that. Taking that responsibility in that is something that a lot of people do not do. I cannot stress that enough. And I want you to listen to that again. Taking responsibility in your health and putting yourself first is something a lot of people do not do. They find school, work, extracurriculars as an opportunity to be like that thing that takes them off focus, and it's like, oh, well, I'll get to it next week. Just know that what you're doing right now is a big deal, and do not discount that, because your health is a big deal, and for you to show up for yourself is really powerful. So I want you to show up confidently. What you are doing is a big deal. It's not hard, doesn't require a lot of time, but it's a big deal. And we don't guarantee that it's going to be easy for people. We don't guarantee that it's going to be like this simple thing that takes 1, 2, or 3 steps. It's going to take some work, but it's simple when you really think about it. Like, just do what the person on the TV tells you, do what the person in the nutrition plan tells you, and bam, there you go. That's it. So when you're talking about your journey and sharing it on social media, don't feel like a fraud, because you are not a fraud. Let me say that again. You are not a freaking fraud. I have definitely had those doubts in my mind. And I say that because I'm sure there's other people out there that have that very same mindset. You are so worthy of a positive upward path and sharing that with others and allowing other people to experience this same exact thing, without a doubt. And I want you to know that through the ups and the downs, maybe you've felt intimidated by others, not maybe comfortable with sharing your journey, that it's okay to share that. It really is. And even the coaching opportunity, what has it done for your life? Is it just a community that allows you to feel absolutely amazing or empowered by other people and X, Y, and Z? Or maybe it's the boot camp that has given you the accountability and the structure and the support to just stick with something for once in your life. How many times have we started New Year's Eve just going to a gym membership and ran on the treadmill for 30 days straight, and we're like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to run for 355 more days. That's miserable. I don't have anyone cheering me on. I don't have anyone to go to the gym with me. I want to pay $75 a month for this shit. You know? Excuse my language. I like to swear. But that is what I'm talking about. When you guys post on social media, we have something special to share. We have a community that is literally going to link arms with you and head into this new year with you. We are going to provide you with the tools that you have to gear into this new year strong. We are going to provide you with everything you need to go into the new year. That's why when we sell challenge packs, there's a reason that's what we lead with, because it provides people with the total solution. Access to the workouts, access to the nutrition plan, access to the community. That is like the trifecta that people don't get when they sign a gym membership. So keep that in mind. When you are posting on social media, whether it be just sharing your story or sharing a small win, whether it's a scale or non-scale victory, you have a story to tell, and it is worth reading. It is worth sharing, and you have no idea who you're going to impact. So there's a kind of the like major points that I wanted to hit about how to be your most confident self. One other thing that I actually wanted to share is just be unapologetically you. Whether it's sharing that deep story about mental health, something negative that maybe happened in your life, remember to share a solution with that. Or maybe it's just sharing something funny. Be like, when you are making a caption, or oftentimes I have like a note section in my phone where I'm just like writing out captions. They're just like goofy. And when you read my caption, I hope you like hear it in my voice. And when you're maybe creating your social media, I want you to type in your voice, in your voice. I will say oftentimes I'll just like word vomit in my note section of my phone, and I'll go back and kind of like fine tune it. I recommend doing that. Just like take whatever's on your heart, type it up, and then go back and kind of think about it. If it's on your heart, it's worth sharing. That's one thing that I've learned. There have been times where I've maybe put things out on social media and I've been like, should I put that out there? Really? Do people care? And you'd be surprised how many people reach out and they're like, I needed to hear that tonight. And it's like, that is why I show up on social media, because someone needed to hear that they are not the only person that have stretch marks. They're not the only person that has cellulite on their legs. And they just needed that reminder, like they're not alone. So you may not be able to relate to that, but just know that there's something about you that someone else can relate to, that you can make such a positive influence on. They might not buy a challenge pack, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to do that. But know that as someone who shows up on social media, you have a positive influence to share with someone, whatever it may be. So that is what I have on how to be your, most confident self. It's not like an XYZ formula, because quite frankly, I can't give you the formula on how to be confident. That's kind of up to you. But you need to be unapologetically you. You need to stop apologizing for the shit that happens in your life that makes you a better person and the way that you are showing up for yourself. And you need to just embrace where you're at in your life. So that's kind of what I have about how to show up as your most confident self. Does anyone have like anything to add to that? Any comments or anything along those lines? I know for myself, I kind of think about, what am I struggling with right now? What am I working on?
You there?
Yeah.
Oh,
you were frozen for like 30 seconds.
Oh,
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure she was just asking if anyone had any questions.
Yeah, I went on like mini tangent, but
Oh. Hmm.
basically I was just saying if anyone had any questions or any hesitations about sharing anything about their journey, sharing anything about their story, it's more than just physical fitness. You know, we all know there's the mental aspect of it, personal development. Maybe there's like anxiety or depression or anything like that. How to share that, stuff like that. If anyone has anything to ask or add about anything like that.
I just had a thought this morning. Actually, Amanda Dewey messaged me on Instagram. For those of you who don't know, she's like one of the higher up people on our team, but kind of talking a little bit about and made a comment a little bit about this topic. And she just was like, hey, like, I just wanted to message you and let you know that you are one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram. And like coming from her, like that was huge. And she was like, it's because like you are so authentically you every single day. And like it was a video of like me this morning in the car going to brunch and like no makeup, just like, you know, whatever, that's what we're doing. And she's like, you just like show up like yourself every single day. And like I admire that so much. And like that's why you're fun to watch. And I was like, that's so cool because there is so much power in just who we are as ourselves. So I thought that was like it really made my day this morning because she's, you know, so successful and you know what she says holds a lot of ground to me. And so like that was a big deal for her to say that.
I would have to agree. I feel like our Instagram stories goes a long way. That's the area where I feel like people get most kind of in touch with who we are. Oftentimes, I would say our feed, yeah, I put filters on photos and stuff like that. Like your stories, that's your opportunity to be your most authentic and confident self. Because that's kind of like, I've been sharing like the whole microblading process. Like, yo, my eyebrows are oily as fuck. Like, it's kind of gross. It's starting to peel. Like, it's kind of weird and all this kind of stuff. Or, you know, X, Y, and Z. I've shared a lot of ups and downs. After having anxiety attacks. You guys, there have been so many Sunday night team calls where I've had my video off and I've been having anxiety attacks. And I share it on my story. And people connect with that. People relate to that. And they're like, oh my gosh, I've been there. I know how you feel. Know that how you show up, people appreciate that. And Sammy is a great example of that. I've also had people say, like, there's a lot of really negative shit out there. How are you that positive person out there? We have a president that's currently in the process of getting impeached and that it is inundating our media, whatever it may be. So how can you be that positive influence in someone's day? Whether it's just a goofy story of you dancing or telling a funny joke or telling a funny story about your day, people look forward to that. Like whether it's a patient, a student, a client, a kid, whatever it may be, like people want to hear about that because there's a lot of shit that is on social media. And it's like, maybe it's just my story about my patient that told me that I look stupid as shit dancing in the therapy gym. It makes them laugh, you know? So kind of going back to like, that is the stuff that it holds value for people. It really does. So that's my little cliff note on that. Does anyone else have anything else that they have questions or anything to add
Shout out to Cindy for hopping on because she's been my client for 2 days and here she is. Yay!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is,
Cool.
well, that is all I have. I hope it provided you some value.